What's happening? Yeah, tell me what's happening.
Yo, don't touch the camera. Don't touch the camera.
I'm not touching the camera.
We have been told that you guys are squatters here.
You think I'm finna be squatting in some house? You stupid.
I had Snoop over my head like the WWF.
You grabbed Snoop?
40 Crips. I had Snoop like...
Basically, I heard him say some shit like, saying, is he blood, is he Crip, and this and this and that. And I'm like, cuz these don't know nothing about no gangbanging. Like, why would he, you know what I mean?
Before the music and major label deals, Jayo Felony was already a name people mentioned carefully. A certified Rollin 40 Crip from Southeast San Diego, with wild aliases like Bullet Loco, Peer Pressure, and One Shot Kill, he was the real deal.
40 Crip. I had Snoop like this, with his perm, dog, crooked cuz. All the strength of God, all my YA came out. I went back to cripping.
So when some big-name rappers tried him, they found out the hard way. From allegedly jumping Snoop Dogg in front of everybody to pressing Jay-Z in his own backyard, Jayo was a problem. Let's dive in. Jayo Felony was born on December 31st, 1969, in the rough projects of Portsmouth, Virginia, and his childhood was anything but soft. His home life was broken early on. His father lived across town, moving freely with money and multiple women, while James and his mother struggled just to get by. Poverty was the air they breathed, surrounded by the decay of a fading East Coast industrial city. From a young age, James learned that survival wasn't passive, it demanded action. At just 9 years old, he woke up one night to see his ceiling on fire. A kerosene heater had ignited the curtains, and the apartment quickly turned into an inferno. His mother and grandmother were outside, unaware of what was happening. James didn't freeze. He grabbed his 8-month-old niece and ran straight through the flames to get her out alive. He saved her, but the fire took everything else. All their belongings were gone. The Red Cross stepped in briefly, but there was nothing left tying them to Virginia. Around 1980, the family moved west to San Diego to stay with his sister. But this wasn't the postcard version of the city. They landed in Southeast San Diego, moving between Cholas View and Mount Hope, neighborhoods far removed from beaches and tourists. Back then, the area south of the 94 freeway and east of downtown was heating up fast. By the late 70s and early 80s, Southeast San Diego was becoming a battleground. This was Rollin 40's Neighborhood Crips territory. Unlike some sets that popped up through imitation, the San Diego Rollin 40's had direct roots. They were established by Donnie Ramsey, an original Harlem Crip from Los Angeles who relocated south. The set controlled blocks around 41st, 45th, and especially 47th Street and Market. That was the environment James Savage walked into as a preteen.
The homie Donnie Ramsey moved down here from LA, and that's how the 40s came about. Donnie was an original Harlem Crip from up in LA. He came down here over to the hood.
His introduction to the criminal justice system came early. While attending Gompers Junior High, a school sitting right in the middle of that territory, James caught his first serious charge, strong-arm robbery. He was still a kid, but the system didn't care. He was sent to juvenile detention for 9 months, cut off from the streets. When he came home in 1979, things were different. He linked back up with a friend named Tosh, someone he met while locked up. Tosh told him the neighborhood had gotten more active. James was ready to jump back in. On the streets, James Savage disappeared. In his place was Bullet Loco. He also went by names like Peer Pressure and One Shot Kill. These weren't rap nicknames meant for attention. They were names earned through real street work. Jayo was enforcing Rollin 40's business against rival sets like the West Coast Crips, Skyline Pirates, and Lincoln Park Bloods.
Back when I was growing up, we used to have picnics all together. You know what I'm saying? Cripnics was like, man, it used to be some of the most fun memories I got. You know what I'm saying?
That's what separates Jayo Felony from a lot of rappers who came later. He wasn't an artist who joined a gang for credibility. He was a gang member who discovered rap. His teenage years were marked by constant danger. Jayo has spoken openly about near-death encounters, moments where guns were drawn and seconds decided who lived and who didn't. While other future rappers were polishing verses at school events, Jayo was surviving the brutality of the California Youth Authority and later, the adult prison system. Ironically, Prison is where his focus started to shift. Behind bars, Jayo began writing seriously. He even wrote a book titled Cellmates and Sellouts, breaking down prison politics and the realities of snitching. But music became his real escape route. Rap gave him a way to tell his story without sugarcoating it. By 1994, the industry finally caught on. Jayo Felony signed with Jam Master Jay Records, the label owned by the Run DMC legend himself. It was a huge moment, not just for Jayo, but for San Diego as a whole. He became the first rapper from the city to land a major label deal.
So I ended up flying back home after I was off of paperwork or whatever. And he was like, man, we want to sign you to the label. So I signed with Jam Master Jay's label first.
The following year, he released his debut album, Take a Ride. The project was gritty, aggressive, and unapologetically rooted in Southeast San Diego street politics. Now, Jayo Felony's most lasting impact didn't come from a chart position or a radio hit. It came from a moment that quietly shifted West Coast culture. It happened during a session with Bay Area legend E40. They were at E40's house, hanging out on the basketball court, freestyling and talking shop. Jayo was trying to explain what separated his music from everything else coming out at the time. That's when he said it, a line that cut through everything. Ninja F hip-hop, this crip-hop. The phrase stuck immediately. Jayo wasn't just describing a sound, he was planting a flag. He later used the term on E40's The Element of Surprise, and from that moment on, Crip Hop became attached to his name. It wasn't branding in the corporate sense. It was a cultural claim rooted in Southeast San Diego politics, identity, and lived experience. By the late 90s, Jayo Felony was solidified. He had earned respect the hard way and translated that authenticity into music. After his debut, he moved to Def Jam for his second album, What You Gonna Do, linking up with heavyweights like Method Man, DMX, and Ice Cube.
I'm bumping on East Coast tape decks. Went from SWAT to the platinum Rolex.
He had the streets behind him, major industry support, and most importantly, his credibility intact. Jayo wasn't playing a role, he was being himself. Then, 2001 hit, and everything changed. That year, John Singleton released Baby Boy, a film designed to define a generation of West Coast masculinity. The movie was big, and the soundtrack was even bigger. But when Jayo heard it, something stood out immediately. On the soundtrack was a song by Snoop Dogg and Tha East Sidaz titled Crip Hop. To Jayo, it was crossing a line. You didn't take another man's creation and act like it was yours. Especially when that creation was tied directly to a specific neighborhood and set, and even more so when no credit is given.
Me making up Crip Hop with E40, you know what I'm saying? And then I heard them saying, you know what I mean? And all I was saying is, like, if I say something that you made up, I'm gonna be like, I make this like MC8, you feel me?
Right.
Just paying homage is all I'm saying. You know what I mean? And even E40 was like, hey, nephew, ain't that your shit? You know what I mean? Like.
On top of that, Jayo believed Snoop had also lifted lyrics from his song Never Leave Me Alone without giving credit. To him, it felt like his work, his concept, and his voice were being repackaged by someone with a bigger platform. And Jayo wasn't wired to handle things quietly. When he found out Snoop was filming Baby Boy on a Los Angeles set located in Rollin 40's territory, Jayo called a homie named Biscuit, and they drove straight to the set. Snoop was in his trailer, surrounded by his entourage and security, including Rollin 60 Crips acting as bodyguards. Jayo walked right up and went inside. People who were there, including Trey D of Tha East Sidaz, later said the energy in the room instantly changed.
Trey D was up there, right? We was all at the Baby Boy movie set, because they was in the 40's in LA, you know what I mean? And the 40's called me like, cuz Snoop and them over here, you know what I mean? So I went over there to holler at him, but
Exactly.
you know how MCs be like, no, you a biter, you know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I was like, that was the type of shit I was on, you know what I'm saying? Like, cuz bite my shit, you know what I'm saying?
What followed became instant legend. The situation escalated fast. Security rushed in, bodies collided, and chaos broke out inside the trailer. Jayo was knocked back, but popped right back up on adrenaline alone. In his own retelling, he said something primal kicked in. In the middle of the confusion, Jayo grabbed Snoop Dogg and lifted him off the ground. He slammed him.
Yeah, I had Snoop over my head like the WWF.
You
know what I'm
grabbed Snoop?
saying? 40 Crip. I had Snoop like this.
When it was over, Snoop was on the floor, curled up, not engaging. The moment was over almost as quickly as it began. This is where the code came into play. Snoop's main bodyguard, Big D from the Rollin 60s, stepped in and stopped things from going further. Instead of piling on Jayo, he recognized what was happening. He shut the room down and prevented it from turning into something worse. By that point, word had spread. The trailer incident spilled out onto the set. Other Crips from the surrounding area pulled up, backing Jayo and Biscuit. Production ground to a halt. Walkie-talkies were taken, movement stopped, and the entire illusion of Hollywood-controlled gangster imagery collapsed in real time. Afterward, both sides responded the way rappers usually do, through music. Snoop and 40's dropped a track called F All That Yappin', brushing off the situation, but Jayo Felony went all the way in. He released Use a Character on his 2001 album, fittingly titled Crip Hop. Jayo laid everything out plainly. On the record, he rapped, "Catch DOG on the Baby Boy movie set. He froze like hollow points was at his neck. This B ninja know he can't F with me. Try to jump me, but I knew to grab this tall-ass ninja before his cuz. I slammed cuz. Now he doing like this, like he know what's coming." Jayo repeatedly called Snoop a character, and that word stuck for a reason. Over the years, many street figures have questioned the authenticity of Snoop Dogg's Crip persona, pointing to moments like this as proof that his image was more performance than reality. For years, Snoop Dogg has carried fake Crip allegations that didn't come from internet chatter or rap forums, but from people who were actually in the streets. One of the most damaging claims came from Suge Knight. Suge accused Snoop of operating like a double agent, someone who played both sides to protect himself. According to Suge, Snoop would feed information to rivals, help set up his own associates, and quietly cooperate in ways that kept him insulated from serious prison time. Suge framed Snoop as someone who let others take the fall while he walked away clean. Suge also pointed to Snoop's 1993 murder case as an example. He argued that the acquittal wasn't just good lawyering, but strategy. The bodyguard, McKinley Malik Lee, took the brunt of the legal heat, partly because of the weapon involved, while Snoop's legal team maneuvered carefully to distance him from responsibility. Whether true or not, the narrative stuck in the streets. Snoop survived situations others didn't because he knew how to shift the weight. Also, take the whole Training Day story for example. Snoop once claimed that while filming the movie, he had ordered a blue tracksuit for his wardrobe, but when he showed up on set, he realized they were shooting in a blood-controlled neighborhood, enemy turf. According to Snoop's version, he calmly asked to speak to the local OG. He said the guy rolled up in a wheelchair, just like the character he was playing in the movie. To keep the peace, Snoop claimed he bought $300 worth of weed from the dude, and just like that, the set was all good.
The movie with Denzel, before I got the scene, right? They said, "What you want to wear in the movie?" I'm like, "Give me a blue sweatsuit, let me get to my blue chucks." They didn't tell me where it was. We get to that motherfucker, it's 100,000 bloods on the corner. I said, "Hey man, go find the OG from here and bring that nigga down here." Got to shoot 3-4 days in a row, no harm, no foul. Got to know how to politic.
But then, the real story eventually came out, and it was nothing like Snoop described. Instead of Snoop brokering peace like some street diplomat, the Bloods in that neighborhood weren't having it. They started causing problems, even throwing bottles at Snoop's trailer, trying to intimidate him. And while Snoop was ducked off inside, it was somebody else who stepped up to actually defuse the situation. That somebody else was Spice One, a pioneer in gangster rap who just happened to get the call. According to Spice One, one of his OG Crip homies rang him up and let him know things were about to go left. Bloods were outside Snoop's trailer, causing chaos.
Throwing, bottles at Snoop trailer. He didn't say blood because, he ain't gonna say that, but, that's what he tell me. And I barely understand him, but I got it. I understood him. Since the OG said go over there and holler at him and try to calm him down, because I think they was throwing bottles at the nigga trailer, at Snoop's trailer.
So Spice One pulled up to the set, and the moment the Bloods saw him, the vibe shifted. They knew who he was, and that recognition alone was enough to calm things down a notch. Spice didn't go in there acting hard or barking orders. He just kept it cool, talked to them, and let them know the cops were gonna come heavy if things escalated. Nobody wanted to catch a case that night, so the Bloods agreed to back off. They ended up sliding around the corner, sparking up some weed, and chilling out until the police did a quick sweep and left. Once the coast was clear, Spice circled back to Snoop's trailer. They kicked it, smoked a little, and Snoop had no clue how close things had come to blowing up outside. Beyond street politics, critics say Snoop has a long history of rewriting moments to make himself look like either a frontline soldier or a peacemaker, when witnesses say he was neither. One of the most cited examples involves Tupac and Nas. Snoop has often told a story about a tense New York encounter where things almost turned violent.
But Nas had 100 with guns.
Right.
So listen to what I'm telling you.
Yeah.
By me saying he didn't want none didn't mean he didn't punk out. It mean he just didn't want to
go there.
Pac didn't even see them. I did because I got a gangbang mentality. I seen start circling and putting their hands in their pockets while Pac is in this nigga ear telling him, I made a song dissing you, Jay-Z.
But Napoleon of the Outlaws, who was actually present, flatly contradicted that version. Napoleon stated Snoop wasn't there at all, and that the meeting between Nas and Pac was respectful, not a near shootout.
Pac wasn't disrespecting Nas at all. You know, I know Snoop said Pac punked Nas and then went to Snoop and said, you see how I got these New York dudes? None of that happened, bro. It was a mutual respect thing. When Pac and Nas met each other, it was nobody talking disrespect from both sides. Maybe the people behind Nas and the people behind Pac was mugging, saying certain things, but Pac and Nas handled it like real gentlemen.
There's also the way Snoop talks about Biggie Smalls. Over the years, he's painted their relationship as one of mutual respect and closeness. But Gene Deal, Diddy's longtime bodyguard, dismissed that narrative entirely. Deal questioned why Snoop never linked up with Biggie during the weeks Big spent in California before his death, if they were truly that close. According to Deal, Biggie didn't respect Snoop, and the friendship angle was more posthumous branding than reality.
When you be seeing these interviews with Snoop speaking on Biggie, how does that make you feel?
That's propaganda for the media, bruh. That's something that sounds good for the media. Pac actually you was going to Vegas and the whole 9 yards, and he didn't say nothing to you, or he said some slick shit to you, or whatever, this, that, and the third. It wasn't all that love until Pac was dead.
Even closer to home, Snoop's relationship with his claimed set, the Rollin 20 Crips of Long Beach, has reportedly deteriorated. They felt like Snoop wasn't doing enough for the people he came up with. He was still repping the set, still name-dropping them in songs, but according to some of the homies, he wasn't giving back the way they expected. One situation that really sparked the tension was brought up by a Long Beach Crip named Flossie. He claimed that one of their homies had opened a new restaurant in the neighborhood, and it was turning into a local hotspot. Since Snoop had the fame, the reach, and the influence, they figured it would be nothing for him to either invest a little money into the business, or at least throw it up on Instagram to give the spot some exposure. A simple post from Snoop could have changed that whole restaurant's life.
My homeboy Kenneth had a little soul food restaurant, you know what I'm saying? And I was hanging around, and the homies was hanging up there until this was beginning to be the spot. So the homies was like, they was getting the Snoop, you don't want the Snoop to invest in it, you know? We don't want you to put no money up, you know? Put us out there.
But according to Flossie, that's not what happened. Instead of supporting, Snoop allegedly brushed them off. Flossie said Snoop acted like they were just looking for handouts. Like anytime they reached out, they were expecting him to pull out his wallet. He insisted that wasn't the case. They weren't asking for free money. They were asking for support from someone who had the power to elevate the whole hood.
I'm hearing all this sidebar chatter that Snoop, and I'm reading texts back and forth with Snoop to the homie. He gonna make the world think always depend on him for money.
Then the rumors got even messier. Word started circulating that Snoop had been banned from his own neighborhood. The talk on the streets was that Snoop pulled up to Long Beach with a small caravan, 3 or 4 cars deep with security, and instead of getting love, he got turned away. The story was that the gang wasn't rocking with him anymore, that they'd made it official that he wasn't part of them. Over time, there's been a visible disconnect between Snoop Dogg the global brand and Snoop Dogg the supposed gang member. That gap is exactly what Jayo Felony saw during the Baby Boy incident. But Jayo wasn't done pressing lines. While defending Crip Hop on the West Coast, Jayo started hearing things coming out of New York that didn't sit right. It began subtly, with the intro to Jay-Z's Streets Is Watching, where Jay-Z rapped, "Is he a blood? Is he Crip? Is he that? Is he this?" To most listeners, it sounded like commentary on street confusion. To Jayo, it felt like a casual dismissal of something that cost real lives. Then things escalated. On the remix to Change the Game, Memphis Bleak claimed, "Down on Sunset, I run sets." For someone from Southeast San Diego who saw Los Angeles as connected territory, that line crossed into something deeper than rap bravado. Jayo responded the way he always did, directly. He went into the booth and recorded Trued Up Remix, a diss aimed straight at Rockefeller. Jay-Z answered back on Murda Marcyville with the line, "Jayo, you not a felon, you a misdemeanor." For most rappers, that exchange would have ended the situation, but Jayo never confined conflicts to music. He flew to New York City and linked up with people he trusted. With them, he drove straight to the Marcy Projects in Brooklyn, Jay-Z's home turf. Right there, in front of the Marcy Projects sign, Jayo set up cameras and filmed a BET commercial promoting Trued Up. But unlike the Snoop situation, this one ended differently. Instead of violence, the conflict shifted into respect. A mutual connection helped open a line of communication, and Jay-Z reached out. The two eventually met face-to-face at a high-profile industry function. They talked it out man to man, and the beef ended right there. Also, while Jayo was handling street and industry conflicts, he was also dealing with a quieter battle behind the scenes. By the late 90s, he was signed to Def Jam, the most powerful label in hip-hop. When Def Jam absorbed Rush-associated labels, they wiped out most of their West Coast roster. The Loonies were dropped. Drew Down was dropped. Jayo Felony stayed. Lear Cohen personally told Jayo he was a top-tier MC, someone who never put out weak records. But respect didn't equal investment. Jayo started noticing the difference in how Def Jam treated him versus their East Coast stars. He saw the budgets behind Ja Rule, the promotion, the marketing machine, the radio push. Then he looked at his own situation. The gap was massive.
They really not really giving a fuck, really, you know what I'm saying, about from the coast.
So the typical, you wasn't getting the promotion.
I would look at the marketing and promotion plan for, say, like somebody like Ja Rule, and I would look at all the they had them doing. I was like, God damn, you know what I'm saying? Like.
Things got worse after Trued Up dropped. Once Jayo dissed Jay-Z, the industry closed ranks. Radio stations reportedly received pressure, with threats to pull Summer Jam support if they kept spinning Jayo's record. Rather than sit on a shelf, Jayo made a decision. He demanded his release from Def Jam. He refused to be written off as a loss. He even forced the label to contact XXL magazine to clarify that he wasn't dropped. He chose to leave. From there, Jayo returned to independence, where he had full control. He released projects like Crip Hop and Underground, cutting out the middlemen and feeding the streets directly. Over time, Jayo evolved. He began recording under his government name, James Savage, signaling distance from the Bullet Loco era without erasing it. He reconnected with Exhibit, signing to Open Bar Entertainment, which opened new lanes. He stepped into acting with a role in Broken Ground and toured internationally, performing in front of tens of thousands from Moscow to Bogota. He also revisited the written word, expanding on ideas he first explored while incarcerated. His book, Cellmates and Sellouts, written during time in Pelican Bay, broke down the politics of prison life and the culture of snitching that defines it. Jayo Felony moved through hip-hop without pretending to be something else, even when that choice cost him mainstream success. Today, the beefs are over. Snoop and Jayo are cool.